Lawmakers officially being ordered back to the state capitol tomorrow morning. Governor Pillen issuing a proclamation for a special session a little more than an hour ago. The session looks to address Pillen's concerns about high property taxes. The last 2 months have seen the governor hold town halls to hear from constituents about the topic. And earlier this week, a group of Nebraska senators held their own public meetings in Omaha and Lincoln ahead of the special session. Governor Pillen has said he plans to have lawmakers remain in session until the tax reform is finished.